Welcome, and I want to say I'm very happy that you are still with us, still learning with us using these YouTube videos that we upload. Yes, this is English for primary 6. We have gone as far as the last topic. Yes, the last topic of term 2 and the very last subtopic of term 2. Primary 6 English. And that last subtopic is keeping animals. Keeping animals is what we are looking at this morning. And keeping animals, we've seen baking, we've seen tailoring, we've seen carpentry, and all those are under the topic known as occupations. So we are now looking at the last subtopic, and that is keeping animals. We have our vocabulary to look at. And among the new words we have to look at is herdsman, then dairy, anxious, sorrow, comfort, cruelty. It's an abstract noun from cruel. If you are cruel, we say you show cruelty in your actions. Okay, dog, then discomfort. So discomfort is the opposite of comfort. That one we are learning today. Okay. Husbandry, which means farming. Slaughter, veterinary. To slaughter is to kill an animal for meat. That is slaughtering it by cutting off its snake, obviously, not shooting from a distance and you say I've slaughtered it. Okay, slaughter, veterinary, then torture, misery, butcher. That's one who sells meat. A man, a person who sells meat is a butcher. Then stray, abattoir. An abattoir is a place where animals are slaughtered for meat. That's an abattoir. Get the spelling as A-B-A-T-T-O-I-R. Abattoir. Lastly, butchers. According to my list, yours goes as far as castrate, comfortable, dehorn. All those words are given in the book. Here, what I put on the chalkboard is always a summary of what we have in the workbook. So, our last word is butchers, and a butchers is a place where meat is sold. There's a difference between a butchers and an abattoir. This one is for animals to be slaughtered, then this one is for meat to be sold. And one who works here is known as a butcher. There is no word butcherman, you people who have it. People use the word butcherman. Butcherman is someone's name. Is it a nickname? Yes. So if you call that person a butcherman, you are 100% mistaken. That is a butcher working from a butcher's, a shop or store that sells meat. We are telling you to look up the dictionary meaning of each of those words in the list above. Get your dictionary, look up the meaning of each of those words, so that you continue learning more. That is in addition to the definitions we have given you in our workbook. The workbook has many definitions, but it's no crime if you make further research and you add on to what we have provided you with in the workbook by using your dictionary. We have an activity connected to that, and that is telling you to arrange the words given alphabetically. There are many words, arrange them in alphabetical order. Then more vocabulary definitions are given on the following page, that is page 76. Page 76, we see more vocabulary defined. Words like comfort, cruelty, then cruel, dog, deep pit, butchery. Okay, butchery. Yes, butchery, which is the work of preparing meat for sale, is butchery. They are all defined, plus flock, which is a collective noun for sheep. A group of sheep is a flock. Next, we have tables. Yes. Before the tables, we see form the pros of the following nouns. We have words given to you. Turn them to plural. You may use a dictionary because dictionaries can provide us with the proforms of specific words, specific nouns. I pray. Yeah. There's something you wanted to see. I've already seen it here as part of the list. A bit challenging, but you will learn with us today, here, and right now. So right now you are going to learn that the plural form for a person is similar to the plural form for the place. This is a butcher. I told you a butcher is a person who sells meat. He works at a place known as a butcher's, meaning a butcher is a place or a shop or store that sells meat. The plural form of butcher, you simply add s to form the word butchers. The plural form of butchers, you simply remove this apostrophe. And when you remove the apostrophe, you remain with the same word. This is a person, this is a place. Here I can say, these are people, these are places that sell meat. What's the difference? The difference is they are similar. Simple as that. Many butchers, many places that sell meat, many people that sell meat, many butchers, as simple as that. It's already a part of your activity. And under that activity, we have another activity where we are told to complete the following correctly. We have the infinitive form of the verb plus the present, which I call the everyday tense, then the ing form, called here the continuous, and second last column, the past simple. Finally, the past perfect, the past participle, which the teacher called the perfect. Okay, we have all the words we have here in the category of verbs I call, let me see, yes, all of them are in the same category, and these are all regular verbs. Regular verbs. We have deep, dips, dipping, dipped, and dipped. They have the same past tense and the same past participle. Yes, past tense similar to past participle. Therefore, you see dipped and dipped. So you're going to continue with the same trend and complete that table meaningfully. Then after that, we use those homophones, dairy, deep and deep, then hard and hard, sheep and sheep, to construct meaningful sentence. Use the sentences that are connected to the topic or the subtopic, keeping animals. Those are the sentences that will sound sweet in the ears of the teacher. More vocabulary defined here on page 79. Yes, go through that list, understand it, and we take you to page 80, where we are supposed to form plurals of specific, not plurals, opposites of specific nouns. Here you pay attention and listen carefully. Yes, pay attention and get me right. Write the opposites of the following. Opposites of the following. So we see hen, yes, as our number one. What's the opposite of hen? Should be cock. C-O-C-K. Then you, the word is you. Pronounce it the right way. Are you is a female sheep? What is its opposite? The opposite of a female sheep should be a male one, and that is a ram. A male sheep is a ram. Next, talk of bullock, and the opposite should be heifer. H-E-I-F-E-R. That is the opposite of bullock. Then drake. A drake. A drake is a male duck. The opposite should be duck. Yes. A male one, a female one, and the general noun is duck. Common noun, duck. Whereas the female, the male one is a drake. I've heard people called drake. I don't know why they choose to give such names to kids. Drake, D-R-A-K-E, that is a male duck. Then bull, the opposite is what you know, cow. S-O-W, a female pig is a sow. S-O-W, we write it so, but we pronounce it as sow to mean a female pig. If you mean S-O-W connected to seeds, you read so. If you mean pigs, then you forget about your so and you pronounce it differently. S-O-W is sow. A female pig is a sow. The opposite is boar. B-O-A-R. That's a male pig. Yes. Pullet is our next word, and the opposite should be C-O-C-K-E-R-E-L. Commonly taught in science, P5. Yeah. So when you are P6 learning about keeping animals, the word cockerel should not be a very strange word to you. You should have heard about it in the P5 science lessons. Peacock, underline cock, change it to its opposite. The opposite we saw in our question 1. Bitch, the opposite is dog. Okay, peacock changes to peahen, simple as that. Then stallion, a stallion, an adult male horse is a stallion. What about the female one that's adult? M-A-R-E, mare. Mare is the opposite of stallion. M-A-R-E. Our next word, or next instructions, form the prose of the following. Prose of the following. Let's go through these ones. You use them to answer what is in that activity. I've chosen a few, the rest you can answer. Okay, sheep has its proform as sheep. Then duckling, a young duck is a duckling. The proform is ducklings. Then sty, a house for pigs is a sty. Don't add s to create eye diseases. Some people write this, and this is a disorder that affects eyes. So st, change y to I before you add es. Done. Goose, the proform is geese, W-E-S-E. Change those inner vowels, those o's to e's. Then gosling, unlike the mother, the child changes to proform and becomes goslings. Goslings is a proform of gosling, which is a young goose. A young goose is a gosling. Yes, and this proform is goslings, whereas the goose has its proform as geese. What about the opposite of goose? The opposite of goose is G-A-N-D-E-R, gander. You can take time to look up all these strange words you are hearing from the teacher right now. Get your dictionary. I normally say it's very bad to attend an English dictionary without, an English lesson without a dictionary on that table. You need a dictionary because anytime the teacher is bringing a new word, now look up gander and get the meaning. A gander is a male goose. Then wolf, proform, wolves. Ox, oxen as you know. Buffalo, that animal which resembles a cow. Buffaloes. When you see it from a distance, you may think you have seen a wild cow. Deer doesn't change to plural, it remains deer. D-W-E-R. Yes. Young ones of animals, that's where we have reached. The young ones of animals. We have the selected animals and their young ones. Others are in the list, you will be able to complete. A cow has its young one as a calf. Because a buffalo, the teacher has told you a buffalo resembles a cow, meaning a buffalo is in the cow family. An elephant is another animal in the cow family. A bull is still in the same, category as the cow. That's the cow family. All these animals have their young ones as calves. So the young one of a buffalo is a calf. The young one of an elephant is a calf. The young one of a bull is a calf. We go. S-O-W, that's a pig, female pig. Its young one is a piglet. A goat gives birth to a kid. Then a donkey gives birth to a foal. F-O-A-L. That's a foal. Goose, as we discovered above, gosling, one. A gosling is a young goose. Then bitch, because a bitch is a dog, it gives birth to a puppy, done and dusted. Yes. So for other nouns, we can go to the workbook and complete. Sometimes I tell you to make research, and this is one of the moments when you need to make research. What is the opposite? What is the, these are now gender-based opposites, even in our workbook. Complete the list about those opposites, then go to the list of young ones and continue learning more and more as shown on page 81. Next page shows us words that are denoting animal homes. Where do different animals stay? What do we call the homes of different animals? We have cattle, sheep, goat, dog, rabbit, and horse, and many others as you see them in the list. Their homes are given. Just see, read, and understand. The nouns that are denoting animal sounds, in other words, animals and their sounds. Those ones are also given. It's a matter of reading and understanding. Then where possible, go and make research, find out which animal neighs. Isn't that a horse? Obviously a horse. Which animal quacks or which bird quacks? Isn't that a duck? Which one squeals? Which one laughs? Don't tell me human beings. Those are hyenas that laugh. Then which animal brays? Hyenas laugh. Yes. Which animal brays? Isn't that a donkey? Okay, we go. Then let's take a look at what we see as collective nouns. Those are now groups of people or things. They are given here. Read, understand. Then you do an activity connected to collective nouns or collective common nouns on page 82 and 83. Then meat of some animals. That one is given as notes. There's no activity. You are going to read about the meat or the name given to meat from different animals. We have deer. Some of you have never eaten venison. Yes, venison is meat from deer. Then goats give us, I will not take this. Change it to this. Goats give us this meat. Chevron. Chevron is meat from a goat. Then calves, they are countries or tribes that feed on meat from calves. And this meat is known as veal, as you see it there. Veal is meat from a calf. Just imagine. It's young, you slaughter it and you eat. Yeah, but that's normal in some areas. Then you have beef from cows or cattle. That's bulls and cows. Pigeon. Yes, those tiny birds. If you are among those people who enjoy eating pigeons, then the meat you eat is known as squab. Then chicken is the meat from chicken. Yes. Meat itself is uncountable. What about the chicken itself? The bird, it's countable. So don't see someone saying, I rear many chickens. And you say, oh, that is wrong English. It's very correct. These are birds. These are birds. Don't say, I ate a lot of chickens. If you ate, you didn't swallow one bird after the other. This one will be wrong because you have used it to mean meat. And meat cannot be counted to add S. Therefore, this is wrong. If you talk about eating, then you ate meat. Meat is never written with S. If you talk about rearing, then you are rearing birds. They are written with S. My father has a lot of chickens. Don't say I like eating chickens. It's like saying I like eating cows. You don't eat the cow, you eat its meat. So be careful with that language of chicken and chickens. The word chickens exists and means birds. The word chicken exists as well and means meat. So chicken has two meanings. It can be the singular form of the bird. It can be the meat from that bird you keep at home for its eggs and meat. We have abbreviations to master on that page. Yes, read and master them. They are common in P6, P7 as well. UWA, that's Uganda Wildlife Wildlife Authority. Then UWEC, UWEC, which is Uganda Wildlife Education Center. Yes. Then ABS, and that is Animal Behavior Society. What else? ADI, that is Animal Defenders International. Lastly on that page, ASAB, Association for the Study of Animal Behavior, that is ASAB. Then AVAL, Association of Veterinarians for Animal Rights. Master all those abbreviations as given, they are connected to animals. You'll find more about them in P7 Term 2 when the teacher is teaching about rights, responsibilities, and freedoms. That is in P7 Term 2. What else? We have CAPS, and that is Captive Animals Protection Society. Lastly, not lastly, USAP, Uganda Society for the Protection of Animals. No, that is not well typed. We are going to correct that mistake. USPA, this is USPA, Uganda Society for Protection of Animals. That's USPA, not USAP. Then your WCU, that is Wildlife Clubs of Uganda. We need to take off this. We say WCU is Wildlife Clubs of Uganda. WCU. The word wildlife is written as one word. Write this and you are off. Wildlife Clubs of Uganda. Wildlife Clubs of Uganda. Master that. NEMA as National Environment Management Authority. And lastly, VET, which means veterinarian. Veterinarian. Master the spelling of veterinarian. That is a doctor who treats sick animals. We see simple structures here, where the examples seem to be self-explanatory. Using you should, then using do not forget. When you read the examples given, it becomes very easy for you to do that activity or those different activities on those pages 84 and 85. Do not forget, do, you should not, etc, etc. There are many given there. So let's look at the opposites of the following nouns. We have kind. That's an activity I want to do with you. Yes, what I'm discussing right now is not on the board. Just listen. We are on page 86 and the instructions are, I see the word practice. Write the opposite of the following. Have young and that's old. Then kind. Kind has two opposites. One can be unkind. The other can be cruel, cruel. If you are cruel, then you are not kind. So cruel is the opposite of kind. We have calm. Calm, which changes to opposite and becomes rough. When that calm has to do with behavior. If you're talking about someone's behavior, some people are calm, others are rough. Some people are calm, others are rough. A lake can be calm, still a lake can be rough. Then little. Yes, the opposite should be much. Next is old. Yes, opposite of old is young. Then rough can have two opposites. Yes, if rough has to do with discipline or behavior, that is calm. If rough has to do with texture, then you are going to use the opposite as smooth. Meaning, whichever answer you write, the teacher will take it. Either smooth or calm. This is for texture. If you're talking about the texture of a surface, if you're talking about the behavior of a person, then you can use calm for behavior as the opposite of rough. What next? We see big, then good, and the opposite is bad. Near, far, then hungry, opposite should be satisfied. Small, opposite is big. Okay. Once being comparative means the answer must also be comparative as better. Better, the opposite of worse. Next. Male, that's female. Heavier, the opposite of lighter. Then useful, the opposite should be light or useless. Then finally, I want to say something about fat, and that is thin. Maybe sad, which has its opposite as happy. If you're not sad, then you are happy. Then we are telling you to arrange those words in alphabetical order. What I see here is more work that will be covered from school. Yes, more stuff that is connected to adjectives, comparison, etc. That one we can ignore and we cover it from school when we are back. We want to do it together so that we don't get challenges. There are things I read and I feel I should see what the children are writing. Yes, and that's one of them. Comparison of adjectives. Key topic I want to cover with you when you are together with me at school. Then let's look at the use of need not. Teach on which page are we now? Page 92. We are on page 92, looking at the use of need not. Examples. We should not overwork the oxen because they also get tired. We should not overwork the oxen. Yes, because they also get tired. Answer, using need not. When you use need not, you don't need to apply the other two. Poison. You don't need it. You don't need to in your answer. So we say, we need not overwork the oxen because they also get tired. We need not overwork the oxen because they also get tired. Finished. That's your answer. It's as simple as that. Last example, which is the second one. You should not starve lactating animals because they won't produce enough milk. You should not starve lactating animals because they won't produce enough milk. Answer. You need not starve lactating animals because they won't produce enough milk. That is all I can say about the activity on page 92. The use of need not. It's like using needn't, but this is only in plural form, not plural form. In full form. Being in full means you ignore the short form that has been taught you and use it in full form. But remember not to use preposition to in your answer. So we have an activity connected to this, and that's on page 92. Page 92 is where we find the activity. Success, God bless you as you go through that activity and you do it. Let's meet next time with a discussion about if clauses. Should be the last one in our term 2. Yes, before I wish you a safe journey to term 3's discussions. God bless you till we meet next time. Yes, goodbye.